Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be playing against Mysterio. He plays some cool tactics with his mirrors and things and his visions. They come into your deck and then counter cards come into your hand at times, and then you have things happen from that based on his forced responses and the things on the main scheme. And also there's new stuff now because of how far along the reputation track we're in. So I'll go through that before we start. Let's take this one to the table. There are some new setup things we have to do on the pink stuff. Obviously this side yet there's no pink things we have to do, but here we have shuffle each card recorded in the Osborne text section of the campaign log into the encounter deck. So I've already put that one in there, that's already in Mysterio's deck. And then we also have to place one extra threat on the main scheme per person. So the main scheme, when we get to it, is going to have 4 on it to start with, so it's going to have an extra 1, so it's going to start with 6. And then we have, in player order, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion, then put that minion into play, engage with themselves, and then shuffle. For each player who did not put a minion into play, this way you get a face down encounter card. So we have to go through this deck and find a minion for each player. So if we start looking, we've got nothing. A minion of an evil doppelganger for Miss Marvel. She's going to have to go into play against Peter Parker, and she's worth 5 damage. A 9, that's a treachery card. That is on obligation. Another minion, we have a shifting apparition, which looks like multiple man kind of. And it's an illusion card, and so is this. And this is going to have to go into play here with Miles Morales. So we've done that, and then we need to shuffle the encounter cards. Therefore, we're not getting an extra encounter card other than the fact we got the Venom out. So we'll end up with 2 at the end of this round. So now we're all set up and ready to go. So let's get this one to the gameplay. Alright, welcome to the gameplay. As you can see, Mysterio is out on the board ready. We have Venom as our ally from the story, and we have some new things going on here. So here for Mysterio, you have to resolve a boost card during his activation. You place the card in your discard pile if it has the illusion trait. Then on the Maze of Mirrors, when you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, you deal it to yourself as a face down encounter card. So this will put them into your deck. Things will make you shuffle. And then when they come out into your hand, you draw a card still extra, so you still get your hand size, but the card of Mysterio goes into your encounter. So for that round, you're going to get battered basically by encounters, sometimes 1, sometimes 2. Unfortunately for me, I played this yesterday and it got me with 7, so that killed me off. That's why Peter Parker's on the wrong side, so he should be starting with 6 cards. I'm going to take those 6. We have Daredevil. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have too many cards. So let's reshuffle that Daredevil back in. Nightmare. And then we're going to most probably get rid of a few of these cards. The main scheme starts with 4 on it, plus an extra 1 for every. I believe it was 1 for every hero because of our scenario stuff. So we've put the Osborne tech thing in there, which is the pink one we have to do. Place 1 extra threat per person on the main scheme. So this, instead of starting with 4, is starting with 6. And I also then have to now search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put that into play with myself. If you don't do that, you get a face down encounter card. So I'm going to do that and get the minions out because that gives me a chance to reduce this. So let's have a look first for them. That's not a minion. Attachment, treachery. Minion 1 for Peter Parker. Evil doppelganger who's got 5 health. Oh, and then another one is an evil doppelganger who's got 5 health. And they're both illusion cards, but they are not going to do a lot because they're going into fight as minions, but they've both got 5 damage, which is quite a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to get rid of them too to start with, and then do some damage onto Mysterio as well. I've learned from playing against him that he is quite a pain, and he does a lot of damage if you leave him for too long, so I need to wipe him out quickly. Any big damage cards would be good. Miles Morales is getting Arachnobatic, Spider-Woman, Field Agent, Double Life, Web Shooters and Web Shot. So that's good damage stuff. Seems like not a bad setup for things. This reduces the cost, the damage that your shield agents get. So if I can get that out and maybe get Spider-Man out, I can do some good stuff. But the web sling is also really good. So, and Arachnobatics is good, and so is the web shot. So I think I'm going to keep his hand because all of those cards are useful and really good. I could try and get out Avengers Mansion with Peter Parker. That would reduce the cost of something in someone else's hand or in Peter Parker's hand. Oh wait, no, you get a card for Avengers Mansion. We can attach this to get rid of threat, which costs 1. Enhanced Spider Sense is good to use, and then we've got some other bits. I want more damage, not more thwart and more threat things, so I'm going to get rid of at least those 2. Genius cards are always great for the double resource. Again, I don't want to I'm not going to put out the extra card, and I'm not going for the threat. I'm going all out damage this round because last time he wiped the floor with me. So I'm getting Silent Strike, which is one of the Skilled Strike even, which is one of the new aggression cards I put in here because of the bonuses from getting 12 points. We've got Double Energy, which is excellent, more resources. We have Mockingbird, and we have Great Responsibility, so you can take damage if there's going to be threat put on the scheme. So that could be good to pay for that card, and then we can get Mockingbird out and do more damage. And then Miles Morales has got some good stuff, but we're starting with Peter Parker. So to start with, I think we need to get rid of these 2 doppelganger people, because evil doppelganger gets +X scheme and +X attack, where X is equal to the number of identity specific cards in the engaged player's hand. So when that goes to attack, I've got 1 at the minute, but these will be spent. But when I redraw up, I could have even more. So I'm definitely going to attack with Venom, maybe. If you use one of my resources from Peter Parker, I don't know if that's needed. The other skill is your hero interrupt when you get attacked, so I might as well take the 1 resource off Peter Parker and 2, doesn't really matter which one unless I need it for anything else. I'll play 2 energy to get Mockingbird into play as well as another ally. She does only 1 damage, 1 thwart, but when she enters, she gives the stun card to the enemy. So that's nice. So he won't attack me. Peter Parker is then going to flip over. He's got 2 attack, so I can kill off one of the doppelgangers with these 2. Or I can do it another way and try and get +2 attack with Spider-Man and do 4 and 1 and then attack with Venom on something else, which is much probably a more sensible thing to do. So 0 cost, get +2 for an attack. So I'm going to get 4 damage with Spider-Man. So that'll knock that to give that 4. He's going to die in a second anyway. And Mockingbird is also going to attack it, taking 1 damage and killing off the doppelganger. So that has then taken 1 off our public outcry scheme, which is good. Try and get rid of our acceleration token, and this also has a victory token on it, so we want to get rid of that as soon as we can. Venom can also attack then for 3 damage, which goes 1. He also has a power on it, which I haven't talked about. He says after you reveal an encounter card, you deal him 1 damage, and then Venom deals damage back based on how many symbols on the bottom of the encounter card in the boost area. And while Venom's out, you're also getting an extra encounter card, so really you don't want him out that long because he causes you issues quite quickly. I found out last time. That I can get rid of that. I can use this 2 card to pay for something, maybe out of Miles's hand. I'm going to keep my cards a little bit out of shot so I've got more space for the supports and upgrades and stuff if I need any. So I'm going to pay with my Genius card to help Miles Morales do something. Then he can do more stuff and then damage more things. And we have, after your hero makes a basic attack against an enemy, you can discard the top card of the encounter deck. If there's no boost icons, then you get to stun the enemy. So I can do this, flip to Spider-Man maybe, do 2 damage to the doppelganger. Then I can discard the top card of the encounter deck. If there's no boost symbols, I get, oh, there's none. Awesome. So no boost symbols, so I get to stun the doppelganger, which means I don't really need to kill it now this level, and I can then try and do some other stuff. So the 2 that I'm paying from Spider-Man is maybe going to get the web shot out. If it's got deal 4 damage for paid for it using the electric, which I didn't, then you get the Venom Blast, so maybe I'll pay for something else for that. So pay it towards the Spider-Woman card with double lives because it restands you, gets you to change form, but for now I don't think it's necessary, so I'm going to get rid of the double life card. I'm going to get Spider-Woman out. You reduce the cost to play Spider-Woman by 1 for each confused enemy, but none of them are confused at the minute. I can then maybe play these out for more things. Oh, these are both really good cards, but I don't want to get rid of them. I'd like to do the damage on them if I can and get these done. Ooh. So I want to do attacking. I want to try and get more attacks out. This would get me damage off things. These would do me 4 damage, and then Venom Blast if I pay for it with electric, which you can if I pay with that. And those Neoarachnobatics give me 5 damage for 1 cost. So I might be better served trying to get out the web shot to pay for extra resources, or actually to heal Spider-Woman. It's not really worth it actually. Web shot would not really help right now. The field agent will take 1 off, and then if she attacks again, she's going to get killed before it's saved the damage, I think. I know you can make it avoid once, so she could attack 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I'll pay for the field agent with the web counters. That gives him 3 counters to help her when she attacks. Then I'm going to pay for the Arachnobatics with the web shot ability, because I can't stun the enemy anyway, he's already stunned. So I'll get 5 damage on him because he's already stunned. So that'll knock him from what he starts at is 30. So knocking him 5 to 25. So not an amazing start because we've had to take on some of these minions, but not too bad. And we can do a damage from Spider-Woman for 2 health, but knock that one down by 1 to give her only 1 damage. So she'll stay in for 3 attacks, which is nice. So we'll get 2 more damage onto Mysterio, just 23. And then we all restand and get our cards ready for next round. We're in Spider-Man form, so we're going to get attacked. But both the main bad guy and the evil doppelganger over here can't do much. So we will take our cards. For Spider-Man, we got Black Cat, which is good because you can get to discard 2 cards and do get some into hand, hopefully. So I might try and play that out and get more damage with Spider-Man if I can. For Justice, remove some threat, might be useful. And after you defeat a minion, exhaust this to remove threat from a scheme. So I'll keep them in case I need it. And these could be handy. Then we've got 5 for Miles Morales. We've got Field Agent, Power Within, which lets you restand. I know. It's a great upgrade actually. When you do any basic attack, you can also do the Venom Blast. So if I get that upgrade out, I'll be very happy. Double life gets you back up, standing into the other form once you've used stuff. We've got Surveillance, and Jefferson Davis removes 1 threat. He's also good when the obligation comes out. If you've got him out, you can just clear him off and get rid of the obligation. So I'm most probably going to try and get him out. That'll help me focus on attacking while also keeping the threat a little bit down. So that's a nice 5 cards to have. He's got no hero interrupts for anything, but Spider-Man has got a way to take damage instead of threat and to stop the revealed effects of some of the stuff. So first off, we're going to get 2 threat onto the main scheme, so knocking it up to 8. We can have a maximum of 16 on the first bit until it's done. Then he's going to try and attack Peter Parker, but he can't because he's stunned. Then he's going to attack Miles Morales, who has quite low health. So I'm thinking that obviously when you get an encounter card played as well, then he's going to damage Venom by 1. So if I block with, I might choose to actually block with Spider-Man because his defense is 3. I'm going to take the block from Miles with Spider-Man. Encounter card revealed has illusion on it. So after you resolve a boost card with this illusion card, it goes into your discard pile. So that's going to go into Miles' discard pile. But first, Venom's getting damaged by 1. I need to do this first, actually. After I reveal it, do damage and deal damage to an enemy. So I have to attach this to a minion. Oh no, using it as a boost, it says deal 1 damage to each character you control. So 1 damage to Miles and Peter Parker. Both read the wrong way around, but they both get damage. Venom got a damage, but then he does that equal to damage to an enemy equal to the number of boost icons, and there's 3 on there. So he would have done 3 to Peter Parker, which would do no damage. And then Venom is going to strike back for the 3 symbols on here. It says to an enemy, so that means I can do it to anyone. So I could attack the doppelganger, but the doppelganger is still stunned. So I'm going to take Mysterio down and just knock him to 20 because I want to kill him quickly. Then we've got easier stuff that I can do, killer with other people. Then we have encounter cards to come out. So doppelganger can't attack because it's not done. This boost card goes into this card. Oh, there, now it's an illusion card. This goes into Miles Morales' discard pile. And then we have some encounters to come. 1 and 1. Again, these encounter cards are going to give us boosts and things. So, first one, when revealed, if you're in hero form, the villain attacks you. So I can take his attack, and the boost is going to be for an additional boost card to its activation. You have a laugh. So it's 1 plus that, plus an extra boost, which, brilliant, gave me 3 for plus the 1. And I think both of these are illusion cards. If you resolve a boost card, it's not a boost card though, it's an encounter card. So when you draw a discard an encounter card from your deck. Yeah, so it's not an encounter card. It's a boost card only, so that's fine. So I've revealed these 2, which have got to be given 2 damage to Venom. And I also asked to have another. I should have had this one as well because you get 2 for the extra one here. So I've revealed 2, that's 4 damage on Venom. And this should be 2 encounters over here. But then Venom's going to do damage back worth the 5 symbols. So 5 damage back against Mysterio. Knocks him to 15. Now we're really getting to him and doing some serious damage. So he's taking 15. And we have another encounter card, so Venom's going to take another damage. Which will knock him to 5. So he's only got 1 health left. This is Smear Campaign. If it's in expert mode, it gets surge, but if they're not. Public Outcries in play, you put 2 more notoriety counters on this, and then you place 2 through it. Put 2 on it. If it's not in play, then you get 2 threat on the main scheme, but it is, so this is knocking this up to 5. It's a bit annoying. I really hate that card. I want to get that out to get the victory points and also get rid of the acceleration token, which I should have put 1 extra token on there for the acceleration. And then that's his encounters done. Then we're on to Spider-Man Miles Morales. First one. When reveal your set aside Nemesis minion and put it into play, engage with you. Reveal your set aside Nemesis side scheme, put into play, and then shuffle the rest of them into the encounter deck. If your Nemesis minion does not get enter the game this way, your card gains surge. So we've got to put in our friend the Prowler, and the side scheme that comes with it gives us another acceleration token. So when revealed, if you're in alter ego form, you place an acceleration token here. I'm not in alter ego form, so I do not put the acceleration on. brilliant. This has 4 threat on it. From other than that, I can't really see what else it's going to do to me, really. So, not really bothered about that one too much. Because there's no acceleration token on it now, thankfully. Let's shuffle in the Prowler's cards into the deck. Prowler says, when you reveal if you're in alter ego form, you give Prowler a tough status card. He has Stalwart as well, which means he cannot be stunned or he's confused. So he needs taken out quite quickly because he's going to do damage, extra 2 damage, and he does 1 attack. So we don't want all of that happening. So I need to also manage a bit of my threat now and my attacks and things. Trying to take them down next turn, and then this goes into discard. But it was an encounter card, so Venom takes his last thing and dies whilst doing 2 damage to someone. So I'm going to put him in discard. I'm going to do 2 damage to the doppelganger because she needs to die. Then has 1 health left. And then last one, encounter card for Miles Morales is, says attached to your identity, you cannot resolve triggered abilities in your hero's printed text box. The triggered ability ones are the ones with bold. Alter ego action, you can discard 1 identity specific card at random from your hand and then discard this card. So I can't actually do any of his Venom Blast or Camouflage abilities, which is really annoying. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to then get rid of that soon. But I want to get Jefferson Davis out on his next turn, and I also want to kill off these guys. So I need to do that. So I'm going to take out the doppelganger first with, before I play any cards, I know I'm going to do this to do 1 damage to doppelganger and kill it. So that will take her out of the game. She has illusion, but again, it's not a boost card, so that goes in there. That takes 1 threat off here, knocking it to 4. And then we only have this minion Prowler to deal with, who also seems quite annoying. So I'm going to attack him somehow. Can't really do these Spider-Man abilities, which is annoying. But I can get Jefferson Davidson to help me with some threat, so I'll try and do that. And then, what else? I've got Field Agent, which is quite handy for shield. Oh, she has shield. I could keep Mockingbird in a bit longer or try and do some other stuff. Surveillance team, double life's good. I want that really. Jefferson Davidson, after here uses basic power, you can do the Venom Blast. I want that in play definitely. And I want Jefferson Davidson for sure, so I'm going to just pay for those 3 points to get upgrade for the Venom Blast ability when I can, which I can't obviously do right now. And also get Jefferson Davidson, who's going to do 1 threat removal to come off here. Then we're going to do Spider-Woman's going to do an attack of 2, so only take 1 damage instead of 2 like normal. So she's going to knock him to take 2 health off him. Prowler. Then Batman, not Batman, Miles Morales can attack for 2. I need to do 3 damage really. So I want to see what Spider-Man's got. If Spider-Man can do it, then that would be good. I've got the Black Cat. She can come in and do 1 damage, and then I can do 2 damage with Spider-Man, which will take Prowler out. So I'm going to have to do that. I think I'll keep the event for treachery, maybe great. I want to have the threat removal there if I need it. The interrogation rooms go in, and great responsibility is going to go as well. So that's Black Cat out for Spider-Man. Then we can use her to attack for 1, which doesn't do her anything. But after you play her, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, and each card with a science resource on it comes in your hand. So nope, but I've got great responsibility, which is quite a handy thing to do, because that gives me 2 cards I could then remove some threat. If paid for science, I can get 4 threat gone. That might be a good idea to do. So I'm going to do that. Pay to get 4 threat gone off the main scheme, knocking it to from 8 to 4. That keeps us safe for a while. And then I can do 1 damage attack with Black Cat. Get no consequential damage on her. That'll give him 1 extra damage. And then Miles Morales can kill him off. It's keeping us fairly safe. Kill him off with that move. So he's dead. The Prowler is out. Now he's been killed. So he will go into discard. And we can then flip to Miles Morales form. Get us 1 Spider-Man card out of our deck to help us. And I think if I can get the double life card back out soon, then I can do some serious malarkey and flipping, and hopefully help us get another card out that I can spend on the resource to get rid of this illusion thing as well. So let's see what we can do here. We've reshuffled. Everyone can restand now. Miles got this on. We're going to get a lot of scheming coming out this turn because of the being in alter ego form with Miles. Miles is going to get 6 cards there, which is good. So he gets Global Logistics, Homeland Intervention, the Genki Lee card, Government Liaison, Double Strength, and a melee thing that does 3 attacks to 2 different enemies. So that's quite nice. Then we've got 5 for Peter Parker. Peter Parker's getting Swinging Web Kick, which does 8 damage, which I love that card. This switch removes 3 threat when you kill a minion. No minions out of the minute. Emergency. So when a villain schemes, you can remove the amount of threat on that scheme by 1. And Surveillance Team. So snip counters to get rid of threat. And then we've got tech upgrades. So I might as well pay for that to help me get some other stuff out quite quickly. So we've got now everything done. We have some threat coming in. I can reduce threat with Spider-Man. So when the villain schemes, reduce the amount of threat placed on the scheme by 1. So first off, because of the acceleration token here, we're getting 3 extra threat on the scheme, knocking us from 4 to 7. So I'll swap these out. Up to 7 on the main Maze of Mirrors, which is a cool looking art card, isn't it? Then we can move on and do our actual scheme. So for the boost cards, if they've got illusion on, then these after they're done come into your discards. So nothing, and that's not an illusion. So he's getting 1-2 scheme on there. And every time you activate the scheme, it gets an extra 1. So that's 3, taking us to 10. And then he's going to also do a boost on to Spider-Man, which is choose either to spend 2 science resources to deal this card just has a face down encounter. Choose the 2 science or face that. So I could only do that and get rid of the swinging web kick, which is awesome, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to place this as a face down encounter card. Then it gets surged out and I discard your hand and draw up to your hand size. It's really annoying. I haven't got 2 science other than the 2 good cards I've got there that I don't want to get rid of. So it's going to make me discard my cards anyway in a second, and then draw back up to the same hand size. So I shuffle through my deck. So I'm going to just place it as an encounter card, which is horrible to do, but that's what I've got to do. Then we're getting encounter cards, only 1 each this time, because there's no Venom to ruin us. Miles Morales is getting a minion who is Shifting Apparition. It's got guard, and it says while the minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. If it was defeated with excess damage, the defeating player shuffles a card of this encounter deck into their deck. So you have to then put him into your deck if you overdo him. There's a few of these cards. It's to kind of rip off of the multiple man. So that's quite annoying. But luckily we've got some cards out that can do 1 damage. Well, we've got 1 Mockingbird. And we've got Black actually. So she can kill that off and help us get our threat down, which isn't too bad. Then we've got the first card from him. We knew what was coming up. This is now not classed as a boost card, so it's going to give Surge, giving us an extra card, so that'll be next, I guess. And we discard our hand and draw up to your hand size, so at least we're going to get 5 cards. So these go to discard. Then we get 5 new cards for Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, another swinging web kick, Aunt May, interrogation room, and thwart. These are obviously better, but our deck has gone down by 5 cards, which is a bit annoying. So these are also great cards. Jessica Jones gets an extra thwart for each side scheme in play. So at the minute she'd get 2 thwart instead of 1. And the swinging web kick I've just discarded anyway, which is good, so I want to have that. Next we've got Victory -1. Attach this to Venom, Eddie Brock. If you cannot, then it gains Surge. So Eddie Brock's gone. He's out. He's not in here right now. So that means we have to get rid of it and take another card. Deja Vu. Peril. While you're resolving this card, no other player can help you. There's one revealed. Choose to either take 1 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. Then you shuffle Deja Vu into any player's deck. So he's going to either give me damage or 1 on threat on the main scheme. I'll take 1 damage on Spider-Man and I'll shuffle into Spider-Man's deck because it's smaller. And hopefully that'll help. So he's gone in there. 1 damage down to 10. Then we're on to last one. Hopefully we don't get any more surges. Oh, another Deja Vu card. Awesome. Peril, so place it, choose to either take 1 damage or place 1 threat on any main scheme. So again, I'll take 1 damage because I can get to 9 health with Peter Parker. Not being too bad because he's got an extra 2 life anyway. And then I'm going to shuffle this one into Miles Morales' deck because he hasn't got any cards yet. And that would be a right thing to do, I think. Obviously the colours you can kind of see when they're coming up, so I'm going to do 2 more shuffles on this and then block it. Hopefully you can see that's fairly random. Hopefully I haven't just damaged any of the cards. Right, so that's all the encounters done. We have new first player. We can potentially get another ally out, but whether I want to or not is another matter. I'm going to kill with Black Cat because she doesn't take any damage. That will then get rid of this shifting apparition, which will go to discard, take 1 of these off the public outcry, knocking us over to 1. And then we can do other stuff now and try and do some damage and sort some threaten things, get some stuff out. If we could do Aunt May, she's good for healing Peter Parker when he's in alter ego form. And then maybe swinging web kick. I can only do that for her. Got to be in hero form, so I can pay for these 3 cards to do the swinging web kick for 8 damage to an enemy. So that's going to knock him down to from 15 to 7. Gone the wrong way as I always do because I'm a plonker. Then I've got the Aunt May card still, so I'm going to potentially flip to Peter Parker side, spend the science resource to get the support of Aunt May. Then I don't really need to do a lot. Don't want to do that actually. I'm going to keep all of Aunt May in my hand. I'm not going to play her as a card yet. And then I'm going to see what else I can do because I want to attack and kill him maybe. If I attack for 1 damage, it's not doing a lot, but it's actually I'll keep her in. She can absorb the damage. I'll attack for 2 damage with Spider-Man, knocking him down to 5. We've then got Miles Morales over here in form. The only way I can do this is to get rid of 1 identity specific card. The only identity specific card I have in hand at the minute, as you can see, is Ganky Lee, so he's going in the bin to get rid of this card. Now this was now discard 1 identity to discard this card, so he's gone. And that means I can do my Venom Blast and things, which is nice. At the minute I can't really do this melee 3 damage, 3 damage, so that's not useful. I can do this to reduce the cost of a shield card, but I've not really got the need for it at the minute. I can exhaust up to 3 shield cards and remove 2 threat from the scheme for each one done that way. Or I can exhaust 1 shield card I control to look at the top 4 cards of any deck, really. Discard them or move them around, but I'm going to play this then to 0 cost to exhaust some stuff and get 3. Jessica, Spider-Woman is a shield card, so she could do this, that can therefore then go. After hero uses a basic power, I can do the Venom, so I'll get rid of Jefferson Davis as well. I'll get rid of the 6 threat, so I'm going to get rid of these 2. I'll get rid of 6. Then I can flip Miles to his normal form, attack with this. After you make a basic attack, you can discard top card of the encounter deck. If there's no boost icons, the enemy is stunned. There's a boost icon. So this doesn't actually do the give Mysterio the 1 extra boost thing for activation. This just is checking if there's any boost down here. You discard the card, and there is boost, so he's not getting stunned, but he's taking 2 damage. And I'm going to spend this to do the Venom Blast, which gives him another 2 damage and does stun on him, so he's going to take 4 damage and be stunned. So he's now down to 1 health. Now it's a matter of whether I want to kill him off or save Mockingbird to save the defense. So I think it would make sense to not kill him off. I cannot get any more, or I can get more support out. So I might as well put these supports out. The government liaison to get cheaper shield cards in the future, cost me 2 strength. And then I can't play that card because I haven't got any things with it, so I have to leave it at that. Mockingbird's going to be my new damage sponge, so she's definitely going to block out in a minute. It's meaning I don't have to take any damage with Miles Morales because Peter Parker's getting a stun, no effects when we're getting new cards. So right, this has brought out one of the encounter cards for Spider-Man, so getting a Nick Fury in hand, getting an encounter card for in a minute, then still getting 1 extra card for the card that went. So still get to draw up to my full hand size. And then we've got oh, I've gone too far. That back click shouldn't have come out. Because Aunt May is also in hand already, so there are 5 cards. So let's reshuffle that because I don't want to cheat. Okay, and then we have 2 cards already for Miles Morales in hand. So I'll put them there so you can see them. Right, we've got Melee, we have another Melee, Spider-Man Peter Parker, and we've got Dum Dum Dugan. Now he is a beast. Dum Dum Dugan is awesome. If you can get rid of some shield cards and exhaust them, he gets 1+ to each of his things, and he's got 3 attack and 3 thwart, and he's got 5 health. So I'm most probably going to try and get him out next round. But obviously, as you can see, I've only got 4 cards. So I need to try and pay for him with some other stuff, or something from Peter Parker's hand, really, ideally. So that would mean I've got no hero interrupts with Miles, but Mockingbird's going to save our lives here. So Mysterio is going to do, we've still got this +1, so he's doing 3, knocking it to 7. Then he's going to try and attack Peter Parker, but he's stunned. Then the Mockingbird is going to be a hero and block out any damage for Miles Morales. We've got 1 + 2. So that's an illusion and it's a boost card. So that's going to go into my discard pile for Miles, which is here. So it's going onto the top. Yeah, it's alright. Discard pile. Then Mockingbird is a dead dodo, and she goes into discard. And then we've got our threat, which again is only going to do 1 extra each, but obviously he's already got 1, so 1 more for Peter Parker, 1 for Miles. First one for Peter Parker is the one that came up before the Deja Vu. Peril. While you are resolving this card, other players can't help. When it's revealed, you choose to either take a damage or place the threat on the main scheme. Then shuffle Deja Vu into any player's deck. So I'm going to take a damage with Spider-Man and put him in Spider-Man's deck. And I'm going to shuffle, there's not a lot of cards. 1, 2, 3. Right. So he takes damage down to 8. Then we've got another card, Caught Off Guard. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, you get rid of this card, and then so I can't get rid of the shield tech because it's permanent, and I don't have any other upgrades at the minute with Peter Parker. So that's going to have to go away. I'm going to have to get Surged on. Side scheme, Fool's Paradise. Now this looks like a nightmare. It's 6 threat per person, so we're talking at about 12 threat on here. It gives us an extra card, an extra acceleration token, and it can't be ignored. You have to take threat off this one first. So I can't do the main or the side scheme over there. I have to do this one. It's got 12 on it. It's given us acceleration and an extra threat card each. So that's going to be annoying for next round. Then Miles Morales has got an illusion card, which is not a boost, so it's fine. This is attached to your identity. You cannot ready allies or persona supports you control. Alter ego action, discard an ally or persona support you control. Then you can discard this card. So that's a bit annoying. It's gone to Spider-Man. He cannot ready any allies or persona supports I control. So I can either get rid of Spider-Woman or I can get rid of Jefferson Davis, and that would then reduce, get rid of this. But I don't really want to get rid of either if I don't have to. But she doesn't do a lot of thwart, and she doesn't do a lot to reduce stuff, so I might have to. Then we have done, so move first player to Miles. First things first, Jefferson Davis is going to take 1 threat off here before I forget to do that. She's going to take 1 damage, she'll 2 damage no matter what and die no matter what she does next. The thwarting's not really worth it. She could attack and kill Mysterio, but I feel like Black Cat should do that and then take the down to 0. Then his second one's revealed. Second one is slightly different. It says when revealed in player order, shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into each player's deck. So we're getting that. That's going to be shuffled. That's going to be shuffled. So it says here's his Creeping Fear. It's force response. After you resolve a boost card during your Mysterio activation, place that card on the bottom of your deck. It has the illusion trait. So now it's not going into your discard. It's going onto the bottom of your deck, making life a lot harder for you. Now Spider-Man's cards are already really low, so that's not good for us. And then this one is getting another one from Miles Morales as well. So we're looking at getting through a lot more cards, and we want to kill him now as quick as we can. He's also gone up to 2 attack and 2 scheme, whereas before he was only 2 scheme and 1 attack, I think. So he's got a bit more powerful as well. So we really need to wipe him out, and he's starting on 34 health because of the 2 characters. So that's going to be tricky. I really want to get Dum Dum Dugan into play because he's going to do a lot of damage. I think Nick Fury's cool, but he's not going to do a lot. After Nick Fury enters play, you get to remove 2 threat from scheme, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage to an enemy. At the end of the round, if he's still in play, then he gets discarded, so he doesn't last very long. Have the first aid, which I don't feel like I need right now. Powers of Justice, sadly, is at the wrong time. I've got the... This is a really good card, the Webbed Up, because it kind of stops him attacking, then it stuns him, so he's stunned basically for 2 turns, which can be really good. So I'm thinking if I can stun him, that would be really useful. Might just play all 4 of those to stun. To stun Mysterio when he goes to attack. Then also I can do what I can do here with Spider-Man. I want to be able to flip to him to give an extra card to get Dum Dum Dugan out over here, so that I can flip. I can attack maybe first, then use the power on Peter Parker when he's flipped over. So if I thought only 1 with Peter Parker, I'm going to attack for 2, take him down to 32, and then flip over and use my science resource to pay towards Dum Dum Dugan, which then gives me 4 cards here out of the way as well to get him into play. When he attacks, I can exhaust shield warriors to get extra damage, so I can exhaust all of these. So then Spider Woman's not going to get to attack before she dies, but I can then discard her to get more stuff. So he's doing 3 plus 3, which is 6 damage. Now down to 26 health already. So Dum Dum's a bit of a beast. He takes 2 consequential. He's got 5 health. So I'm going to use this last for Field Agent. I know it's not worth it because it'll knock him to 1, then I'll get 2 and 2 and he'll die. Unless I can get another Field Agent out, it's not really worth doing that. But I'm going to do it anyway, just in case I can get one. That'll give me a chance to put out another support. Oh no, actually, I can't exhaust him then for extra damage. I'll keep it there. Then I'm going to do an attack with Miles, which is going to then resolve the basic Venom Blast attack. So I'll do 2 plus 2. I'm not going to do the encounter card. I can do it, but I don't have to. Discard top. It says discard it anyway, so I'll do it. It's got a boost symbol on, so it's not going to give him stun. If it didn't have a boost card, he would be stunned as well, which would be awesome. So we're getting 2 plus the 2 for that, which is 4, and he's getting stunned. So stunned, 4 damage, down to 22. Now we're really doing some serious stuff. And that's everything pretty much for this go for me, other than flipping to alter ego form. And then trying to, want to do this, I can take one of my discarded cards, character cards, and put it back in my deck. So either Genki Lee, who helps you get more cards, or Arachnobacks, that does a good damage. It's 5 damage for 1 cost. So I'm thinking of getting Arachnobacks back into the deck. This also nicely helps you to build the deck, which is great, because we need to get rid of all these stupid boost things. So they're shuffled in. And then I'm going to discard Spider Woman to get rid of this card, which goes over here. Spider Woman is now dead. We have our new beast Dum Dum Dugan into play. These all get to restand. Unfortunately, he's going to do scheming instead of other things. So we're getting 2 boost icons here, meaning that we're adding 4 to that, which gives us a total of 11. We can only have 16 on this before it's completed. And he's going to scheme in a second because we haven't got Confuse on there, sadly. But both of our characters are getting 6 cards, which is nice. So we're getting Peter Parker's got a boost card in his top 6, and then 6 cards. So he's got a double strength. He's got the skilled strike, which gives you +2 attack, which is one of the cards I gave him. He's got that twice. I see. I got one of those cards I gave him before this fight for the bonus things. I give a bit of aggression for more damage. And we got Daredevil. When he thwarts, he does damage, so we can try and get him in to help get rid of that maybe, which is really handy. And a few other things. We got backflip to get defense, but we haven't got take damage for the threat, sadly. And then Miles Morales can get a genius, surveillance team, global logistics twice, melee 3 and 3 if there's any minions, and then swing in for removing 4 threat from a scheme. And if we do it with a science resource, we get to do the camouflage as well. That would have been really useful if we'd have done that last round to block out some threat now. So Mysterio is going to boost with 1. You'll get this illusion card that will go into my deck against Miles. So that goes into the bottom of my deck. So right underneath instead of into discard, which is a bit annoying. Then it does 1 extra threat. So we had 2 scheme on there, so that gives us 3 more. Knocking us to 14. So we can take 2 more. And then he's also going to scheme for Peter Parker. Gives it star. Choose either to spend 2 science resources or deal this card face down to yourself as a discard cut. I've only got punch resources, so I'm going to have to take that as a thingy, and that's going to mess me right up. I really was happy with that hand. It's going to make me discard the hand and then draw up to the same hand size. Really annoying. If I could, I would pay for it somehow, but I can't. Unless I get rid of Miles Morales' cards. Doesn't say I can't do Miles' stuff, so I'm going to do Miles' discard, which is double science. I'll get rid of the Genius card with the double science on. So that. Then I'll discard that. Oh, it's a treachery, yeah, so I'll go over there. So that means he only does 2 scheme, but that still gets us to our 16 amount. I've realised I put this on the wrong one. So we wouldn't have been that far out. It was on 11, so that should have gone on there. So that's got us to 8, 11, 14. Yeah, so we're still getting 16. Therefore, 16 on there means that part 1 is done. So part 2A says, when revealed in player order, shuffle the 2 top cards of the encounter deck into each player's deck. So that really does not help us. So we're getting 2 cards into our encounter deck, shuffle that one in a second, shuffle this one in a second. So now we're getting to the point where we're really going to get a lot of damage. I'm doing 1, 2, 3. And Peter Parker's obviously not got a lot of stuff here, and we know he's going to get his hand discarded in a second, which will screw us right over and give us more encounter cards. So I know that's coming right now. We're getting Deja Vu. Oh, we should have had 2 cards as well, so that should be over here. Should have had 2 encounter cards. So Deja Vu's over here. Choose either to take 1 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. So take a damage. So really can't be losing this one to a. It's got 18 you can get to, and you start with 4 per player. So we're looking at 8 to start with. So we can only add another 10 on that. When you withdraw a discard an encounter card from your deck, deal it to yourself as a face down encounter card, and you get to draw a card, the same as before. Then this gets shuffled into someone's deck. So we're going to put it into Spider-Man's deck. 9. Shuffle. This one is a shuffle heavy level. Okay, so we've got first one here. When in alter ego form, it gets Surge, so that goes away. Counter card is attached to the minion with the highest hit points. You cannot add Surge. I haven't got any minions. Treachery, Peril. While you're resolving this card, those players can't help you. Discard cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your hand. If at least 1 identity-specific card was discarded this way, place 1 threat on the main scheme. If none, then you take a damage. So 1, backflip, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. I definitely did. So I take. If I place a threat on this, if one is done, you place a threat on the main scheme. It's also burnt us through our hand quite quickly, which is really annoying. Got an extra threat on here, taking us to 9. And then that's not got illusion on it, so it's in discard. And we have obligation for Miles Morales. So I can, if I need to flip to his thing, remove him by exhausting Miles Morales, or discard Ken Keeley and Jefferson Davison. If neither of them discard this way, you get Surge in discard. So I could get rid of Jefferson Davis, but he's doing 1 threat for us. So I'm going to do Miles exhausted to get rid of this obligation. Discard it, so remove it from the game so it goes away. That's annoyed me quite a lot. This can go over here. We now still have lots of things to deal with and not a lot of cards to do it with. Luckily we managed to sort out some of the other stuff there. I've got a double strength, a skilled strike, which I could do with Peter Parker. I could use to help maybe get +2 attack, but I've got 2 of them for some reason, which I don't really need. So if I pay for 1 of them to pay with the double strength and Peter Parker's science resource to get Daredevil into play, when he thwarts you do a damage. So I'm going to do a 2 thwart, take a damage, take 2 off here to knock it to 9. Really need to clear this thwart stuff. That'll do him 1 damage. I really need to get this out of the way somehow. Black Cat can thwart for 1. Which will take 1 off here. Give her 1 damage. She's still got 1 health though. Peter Parker can flip. I don't think I need to recover right now. His thwart is really bad. I've nothing really to get more thwart done with Peter Parker. I can do 1 thing with him. Let's see if I can do anything else with over here. If I do the swinging, I can get rid of 4 thwart. If I pay for it with science, then I can get more stuff done. So I'll do that and that. They can pay for the swinging to the 4 threat taken away, knocking that to 4. Then we get anyone else can do any thwart. Dum Dum Dugan can do 3. And Jefferson Davis can do 1. Taking away from there, knocking it to 3. Dum Dum Dugan will die if I do that, unless I do this. So I can do 2 consequential onto Dum Dum Dugan. Oh, right there. I could save. I can take that back. I can save that. I can do 2 consequential onto Dum Dum Dugan and take that down. I can do that to add 1 to his thwart, making it 4. So that'll clear this out the way. Get rid of the acceleration and extra encounter. This is a victory point into our display as well. This also knocks this down by 1 to 2. Then we've got 1 we can take off with Jefferson Davis off the main side scheme, knocking it to 8. We definitely want to be getting attacked this round, so Spider-Man needs to stay in his Spider-Man form. He's going to attack to do 19 now onto him. Plus, if he played his skilled strike card, he gets an extra 2 damage for free. So that's knocking it to 17. Then we're looking at maybe getting out our web counters to help me get more resources. To get 3 counters on here for extra resources moving forward. I cannot do a lot here with this. I could get the surveillance team out to remove a threat. But that's 1, 2, 3 supports, so I can't actually do that right now. I'm going to have to keep them there. So that will be all I can do for this turn. But I think it's helped a lot. So we need to turn all these back up, ready to go. Spider-Man has Peter Parker's got no cards, so deal him 4 and he gets the extra encounter out of here. I need to shuffle his cards and also deal him an encounter immediately because he's run out of cards. So he gets an encounter card, which is annoying, that we have to deal with. And we've got our 5 cards now, which are Swinging Web Kick for 8 damage, Spider Sense to get rid of revealed things if they are, when revealed, treachery cards, and 3 damage on the Haymaker. He gets an encounter card straight away. The villain schemes, so scheme for 2 plus a boost of 1, so 3. That takes us to 11, which is a lot. That's really cranked up the tension for us and got us in a bit of trouble. Then we've got Miles Morales needs another 3 cards, so he's got Ghost Spider, Double Energy, and the Powers of Justice, which can give you 2 resources for 1 thing. So I can maybe get Ghost Spider out and another surveillance team if I can. Oh, this should have gone into discard, so I could have got surveillance team out before. That's fine. Okay, so I can do that. I can mostly do these to get Ghost Spider out and help. Hopefully I'll be able to kill it next round if I can get there. Dum Dum Dugan's going to do some serious damage. Ghost Spider's going to come in and I'm going to hopefully be able to get 8 on the Swinging Web Kick and potentially the Haymaker as well. If I can do all of that, then I might be okay. That'll give me 6, 8, that's 14 straight away. I think we'll be pretty happy if we can survive until then. So now we've got to be attacked. We've got 1 acceleration token still on the thing. So we're looking at 14. We can only take another 4. Hopefully none of the things card to give us threat. Spider-Man's in his Spider-Man form. I'm going to block out the damage by Black Cat because she's only got 1 health and she doesn't do a lot of stuff. So the boost card for the attack, oh I don't know, it's not going to get boosted. It's stunned. Stunned him, he's stunned, he's not attacking. Then he's going to go to attack Miles Morales, but he's been webbed up by Spider-Man. So that's going into Spider-Man's discard. And then he gets stunned and doesn't get to attack this turn. So that adds to his next one. Then we're just on encounters. We only have 1 encounter each to come out. So that's 1 to Spider-Man. Next, 1 to Miles. Here's hoping I don't get any surges. So first up, illusion, guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack. If this minion is defeated with more than 1 damage, then it goes to the top card of your encounter deck. The defeated player shuffles the top card of the encounter deck into their deck, but he can be killed with 1, so that's going to be Black Cat's job. So good job she didn't get wiped out there. Peter Parker is also taking on another side scheme, which adds more stuff to the boost. This is quite a new symbol. Each time you get an extra boost card, you get an extra 1 on it. As well revealed, search the encounter deck discard pile and set aside area for your nemesis side scheme. Then reveal it and place X additional threat here, where X is equal to the amount of threat on that side scheme. So you find your side scheme for Peter Parker, which is the highway robbery side scheme, which comes into play here. It says, for your nemesis side scheme, then reveal it. Place X additional threat here, where X is equal to the amount. So that's 1. And this is worth 3 per player, so 6. This also then gets 6 extra on top of it to 7. This says, when revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. That's really annoying. I don't want to do that. When you get rid of it, you get that card back. But that's going to completely mess us up, so I really don't want that. I've also not taken enough cards for Miles Morales because he's in Miles Morales form, so I should have 6 and I only have 5. It's better. Okay, so 1 random card face down over there for that, for him, and 1 from Peter Parker's hand. So let's hope it's not the damage doer. That's going to go over there. Face down, so I don't know what it is, but obviously when I look at my cards I'll know. I've still got the swing and web kick, so I'm happy. And the haymaker. And I still have Ghost Spider over here and my double energy, so it could have been a lot worse. If I can get some of these out and do some stuff, then I can get more damage with Dum Dum Dugan, because there's not a lot of shield cards out. So there's only 2 here I can exhaust for Dum Dum, so I'm going to get 5 damage, but that's fine. And then last encounter card for Miles. Oh, excellent, he gets extra damage and I get Surge, so he's going to get more damage. And it says the villain attacks you after the attack ends. If your identity took no damage from that attack, you discard the card. So with him doing 3 damage, it's going to be hard not to take any damage. But he is stunned, so it's not going to be a big issue. But it does get Surge, so we take 1 more card, which is the obligation for Peter Parker, of course it is. So I can exhaust, flip to Peter Parker, exhaust him to get rid of the eviction notice from the game. So that's gone. That means we're out of encounter things, so these get reshuffled and an acceleration goes on to the main scheme. So now we're really facing off a lot of stuff, but he's only got 17 health, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to smash his head in this round and wipe him out. So encounter cards have been shuffled back into a new deck. We really are close to dying on the threat and also elsewhere, but if we can get rid of some things, we might be able to get some victory points and finish quite nicely. The Jefferson Davis can remove 1 threat from a scheme. I don't see the point in doing it from the main scheme, so let's see what kind of damage I can do to get people down. If I can get Ghost Spider into play, when she leaves you search the deck for an identity specific card and add it to your hand, but that's not amazing. Or global logistics action, that's not going to help. I can definitely get Ghost Spider into play to do some damage. A thwart isn't brilliant, so I don't need the thwart. So I can get her into play with that for these two cards. Then I'm left with Surveillance Team and something else. So thwart for one on the lowest scheme is this one. If I can get that gone, I'll take one of these off. I can kill the minion over here with Black Cat. We don't take any damage. That minion will die. Going to discard because it wasn't extra damage, so that'll take one of these off. That might get us an extra victory point near the end. I need to do the swinging web kick with. Oh, this I should have changed as well. I need to do a swinging web kick for sure. That's one thing I want to play, so I need to pay for that for 3 with Peter Parker's resource, 1 off the web counter, and see what else I can play. The Avengers Mansion. If I need it, I've got a Haymaker there and a Helicarrier to do something with. Daredevil can do 2 thwart removal, and I could do 3 with Dum Dum Dugan if I need to clear that other card. Then I've got a few I can mix about here. So I've got to do 17 damage. So I paid the shooters for the web kick. That's 8 damage off to 9. I really want to kill him this round because I feel like otherwise we're dead. 9. Dum Dum Dugan's going to have to attack, I think, and die. I can only get him 1 boost. Unless I pay for something else. This gives me 3 damage. So I might be better playing for that. With these 2 cards. 1, 2. Event 3 damage to the enemy. So I'll take that down to 6. Dum Dum Dugan's definitely doing 4. Ghost Spider's doing 2. That will kill him, and then he will be dead. And there's not really. I can get Miles Morales over as well. He can do something, but he can't do a lot. He can do 2. I could do with 1 more. Get that threat off the tracking prey to give me the extra victory point, but I don't think I'm going to manage it, and I really want to get rid of this, so I need to think on how I can do it. I can't do the Venom Blast because I haven't got the card for it, sadly. Oh yeah, I can. Action to do Venom Blast, so I can get an extra 2 damage from that. Don't do any basic power. I can do that to thwart and do 2 damage as well. Thwart in 2 off that. Knock that to 1. Do 2 damage to him. Mysterio is taking the 2 damage. He's also would have got stunned, but he's already stunned, so it doesn't matter. Ghost Spider can then thwart for 1 action, clearing this off. Clears that. So then he finally gets rid of this card and gives us 1 extra victory point on this side scheme into the bin. Then we end up with Dum Dum Dugan being last to go, and its final action, as here he is before he dies, he's going to attack for 3, exhaust this shield card for 4 damage, and Mysterio is down to 0 and dead. So we've just done it. That was incredibly hard. But Dum Dum Dugan, as the hero of the day, smashed him out. But we were very close there to not making it. And now at the end of this scenario, what we have to do is look at our scheme book. I'll just zoom in a little bit. And then try and add on to victory points. So you get extra victory points for anything in your display. We took out these 2 cards over here, which I've removed from the play. Public Outcry and Fool's Paradise. So I like to tick it when I've done the ones on the thing. I didn't have Fool's Paradise there. That's personal nightmare. So that's 2 victory points from them too. So that gives us some new stuff we'll have to do on setup something. And then we're adding an extra Osborne Tech attachment random to the campaign. So Osborne Tech is annoying and gets rubbish put into things for you. So these are the Osborne Tech cards. I'm going to shuffle them at random. And then we have picked Ionic boots. So we're going to have Ionic boots added into the thing next. So I would write on here about my number 148. Number 148 Ionic boots for next time. And the Ionic boots gives us surge, attached to the villain, forced, he gets attack plus star. I don't know what that means. After attached villain attacks and damages your identity, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Wow, that sounds bad. And to get rid of it, you've got to use an electric, a science, and a fist to get rid of it. That seems horrendous, but that's got to go into the main deck. So I'll put that to one side for now, so I know. Then we have to add on one for no side schemes, which has been failed. There's definitely a few. One for fewer than one acceleration token in play per player. So there's only one acceleration token on the main scheme, so that's less than 2. So we're getting 1 for that. If there's no minions in play, which there are not, we get 1 point for that. That takes us to 15. We need to get to 17 for the next bonus. +2 for no threats on the main scheme. We definitely have threats. +2 for no, +1 sorry, for no defeated identities. Again, no identities of ours were defeated. Therefore, we are on 16 points. We need 1 more point to unlock an extra title in our card for planning ahead. And I'm hoping we get to get some more stuff here. I want to be able to flip these to the advanced. I don't know where that is. So that's how you add on to the end. So we've done our victories, used the conditions, you put on a community service, side scheme if it was beat. I don't think it was beat. Community service this time we had back alley burglary. But it didn't come out where I didn't beat it. Maybe it would come as a boost card. And count the total number of illusion cards in all players' decks. And you record that number. Oh, I didn't see that. In the Waking Nightmare section. So this is for part 3. So we have 1, 2 so far in miles, but I can see another 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. 8 from Miles Morales. And then in Spider-Man's hands, not in the discard, but he's got doesn't seem to have any so far. 9. And then we're looking 10. Ooh, that's most probably going to be some kind of badness coming up later. 10. Eek. That sounds bad. I'm assuming 9 you'll be okay, and 10 we're most going to get absolutely pummeled for it. But we will see later on. And these can go back in, and then that should be everything. So that's all of the stuff you have to do for this, and then we're on to the next one. So we've still got Venom at our side there, it looks like. And it looks like there's Doc Ock. You've got a few Green Goblin, Electro. Never remember the bad guy's name. I should be able to know, but I can't think of what it is. You've got all the Sinister 6 there coming at you. So that's coming up next. So I really can't wait for that. And the art here is awesome, as you can see. Really cool pictures. If you've enjoyed the playthrough, please give it a like and follow the channel. Subscribe, it really helps the channel out. And comment on the video. So, have you played against Mysterio? Did you win? Did it take you 2 tries like it took me? Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.